Let's talk a little bit about top-down processing versus bottom-up processing and how these things affect executive functioning. Now, bear with me. This sounds a little bit complicated, and it is not. So basically, most neurotypical people tend to do what is called top-down processing. And what that is that they see a problem, and they, in their mind, can already see the solution, and they can see the linear steps that you need to take one by one to get from the problem to the solution. So autistic people and many other neurodivergent people, people with ADHD quite frequently report this as well, tend to think in a different way, which is bottom-up processing. So we tend to take factual, sensory, like tangible inputs, and then we use those to build an outcome. So instead of seeing the problem and then also being able to see the solution, we see the problem and then we pick away at the ways that we rationally see the things a problem needs until we reach a solution. So those are very different, right? So the way that these actually affect executive functioning is that somebody with executive functioning quite often is a bottom-up processor. So executive functioning is bolstered in many cases for neurotypical people because they can make a plan. They can see all of the steps really without trying. They can write down the plan, they can get it all ready, and then they can just check them off one by one. So it's very straightforward for them to complete like activities of daily living or different parts of a plan. But somebody who is a bottom-up processor has a little bit more difficulty because they can't see the outcome until they've put all the pieces together. So instead of aiming for an outcome, really what somebody with bottom-up processing is doing is they're putting the pieces on top of one another until they reach an outcome. So the top-down processor wants to make a sandwich. They can see all the steps that it takes to make a sandwich. The bottom-up processor wants to make a sandwich. They can't see in their mind the finished sandwich. So what they see is they see sort of the scripts and the routines that they have stashed in their brain, because we do that. Autistic people like to stash scripts and routines because it makes everything easier to follow a routine. So we'll check our brain to be like, what's this sandwich routine? So we will visit the last time we practiced making a sandwich, and we will sort of pull out the routine. So that's a hack. But otherwise, if it's the first time making a sandwich, we sort of have to feel our way through it, which makes it a little bit harder to plan an executive function.